So I was gonna wait till after game 2 to make this, so I have like more content to talk about. But I just really wanted to talk about it because I love talking basketball. Rockets beat the Thunder, man, pretty convincingly. Double-digit game the whole way through the second half. We were in full control. I was really surprised by that because Thunder are one of the best comeback teams in NBA. Thunder are one of the best like finishing teams in NBA too, and us shooting a whole bunch of threes. I was expecting us to go cold, and we did for a little bit, but it wasn't enough for the Thunder to make a comeback. Our defense was pretty good, honestly. But I think it was more of bad OKC offense for the most part. They just couldn't get in the lane. They were standing around for the most part. Gallo was the only one that was really killing us consistently. Chris Paul had an okay game, but he didn't really get it going until the later stages when we were already pretty much wrapping up the game. One thing was Schroeder was, to me, I don't know if it was just me, but Dennis Schroeder seemed pretty passive. He took 12 shots. He was 3 of 12, but he seemed really, really passive. We're kind of going under his screens, under screens. We're kind of going under screen set for him, and he didn't want to take the three. And he kept doing the little pump fake. You know what Schroeder does, like. And it was really, really weird to see, man. And so was Shea. Shea couldn't really do much either. He was pretty much a non-factor whatsoever, and that's not what the Thunder need. Because the other starter, Terrence Ferguson, took 3 shot attempts. He was 2 of 3, but I mean, he almost gives you nothing on the offensive end. Adams, he can't do much on the offensive end besides get offensive rebounds, and they didn't even kill us on the boards. We were actually beating them on the boards for a good amount of time. I don't know if we ended up finishing with more boards than them, but the Thunder, their offense was just really, really lackluster, and it made our defense look really good. So, shout out to Mike D'Antoni. I think we were playing a zone for a good chunk of the game. So, shout out to you. Um, Offensively, firing all cylinders. Harden can do whatever he wants. Classic Billy Donovan, man. Being a Thunder fan for the previous 4 years or so, I know a lot about Billy Donovan not wanting to adjust in the playoffs, and here we go. We've seen it once again. Good thing I followed Russ to Houston because I would have to deal with this again. They didn't do anything with Harden. They just played one-on-one coverage. Everyone was just staying to their man. They're not helping out on drives. They're late on drives if they do help out, and Harden just getting whatever he wants. It's like a kid in a candy store. Um, but Harden did his thing with no problem whatsoever. When he did get in the lane, he was able to kick out to open shooters. I believe he had a good amount of assists. I'm not sure, but um, shout out to Jeff Green. Amazing, amazing, bro. Jeff Green and Daniel House have been so good in this bubble, man. They've been our best role players in the bubble, and it's not even close. So, shout out to them. Jeff Green scored 22, and we're playing Jeff Green at point for some time. I was like, oh, okay. Let Jeff Green play the point. Okay. Eric Gordon looked really, really nice as well, man. His shot is still not falling for the most part, but he is driving. I guess he took Russell Westbrook's powers. He's driving. He looks hella fast for some reason. Like, he came back and he's even faster, more explosive. He did slim down. I can really see that. But his shot is just still not falling, man. And when Russ comes back, his shot's going to need to be falling because we're just going to need that from Eric Gordon. Can we win the series without Russ? I got more confidence now that we can, considering how we played, man. And considering that the Thunder and Billy Donovan don't like to adjust. So that's one thing I didn't really think about going into the series was Billy Donovan and his lack of adjustments in the playoffs. He's just horrible in the playoffs. But can we win without Russ? I'll say yeah, we could, but I'd rather have Russ back. If we win game 2, I'd probably rest Russ for game 3 and bring him back for game 4. But if we lose game 2 and Russ is available for game 3, I'll just bring him back because you don't want to go down in a series, lose all the momentum and all that stuff, right? But as long as we're winning, man, keep Russ out. Let him heal up. We're gonna need him for the Lakers, assuming they win. I'll get to them in a video coming up real soon. I'm gonna rip into them, but As for Houston, yeah, I just want Russ back, man. I just want Russ back so we can just dominate. If we have Russ, we'll dominate OKC because they literally have nothing. I'll let Gallo do his thing all day long, man. You know, um, and I forgot to mention the primary defender on Harden for the most part was Dennis Schroeder when he was in the game. There's no good matchup for the Thunder. Like the Thunder are a pretty good defensive team, but there's no matchup for Harden. Obviously most guys in the league can't guard Harden at all. But there's no one even that can even come close, to holding Harden. Andre Robinson's lost a step defensively. He's not as good as what he used to be. I don't know if that's because of his injury or that's because he hasn't played in like 2 years, so it might be like a little rusty, a little behind, a little slow on a couple movements. Schroeder was on him. Harden abused him, even though Schroeder did the best out of all the other guys. Schroeder's just too small. I didn't see Shea on him. I think Shea could maybe stop Harden a couple times, but Shea's he's too young. He's gonna be undisciplined. Diallo, see the problem with Diallo and Robertson is that on the offensive end they give you nothing, so it's gonna be hard for them to be on the court for OKC just to guard Harden. You know what I'm saying? Because they're a zero on the offensive end, so it's really hard for them to really do anything. I'd like to see more Darius Base. Well, I don't want to say I'd like to see. If I was the Thunder, I would want Darius basically to be playing more because he's long, he's athletic, he can shoot, which the Thunder do need. He can shoot, and he can play some defense. So Darius basically needs to play more, play less Diallo, play less Ferguson, play less Robertson. I don't know when Lou Dort's coming back, but I don't think he'll do much on Harden. He won't be able to guard Harden, man. But Rockets take the 1-0 lead, man. Excited. Let's go.